Guys, welcome to Timeline. Is it 17 now?
I think so.
Timeline episode 17, and we've got a special guest with us today. We've got the legend Mista Silva with us today.
That's alright, man. Big up, man. Appreciate it, man.
So this week, look, in fact, I want to go straight through the roundup, but we've got to mention some of the stuff that happened this week. There was a whole thing on Twitter with LMA.
Yeah.
She supposedly charted in America, and people are saying, why aren't the UK people supporting it or backing it or whatever? Have you heard the song? Have any of you guys heard the song?
Yeah.
I haven't heard the song yet, though, to be honest.
Read up.
I haven't heard it.
I think you heard it, you just...
I probably just don't know.
Yeah, I think you just don't know. She has a really, it sounds so silly, but she has a really American sound.
Oh,
like,
yeah? UK girl, yeah?
Yeah, the UK girl, yeah.
Oh, is it, yeah? Okay. Good.
Yeah.
I don't know innit, so
I feel like when I hear her music, I feel like it could be music that someone wrote for Rihanna or for like just an American songstress. But she is from the UK. She's from Southwest, I believe, and we should. I think now that we know this, we will check for her more. But I think a lot of people didn't know she was.
I'll check out the song, but I just didn't know she existed.
She's really good, and her voice is incredible. She actually did a song with Chip.
Really?
Yeah, I can't remember what. Hit me up. I can't remember what it was, but it was good as well. She's really talented.
These females is coming.
Yeah, there's
a lot of females out there coming with the music lately. You know?
Yeah, it's actually growing the scene for women, isn't it? Like quite recently. No,
well, we never had a shortage of female singers. I think it's
in the UK.
In the UK, I don't think we have. What, like from?
Well, urbanly, I think.
Urban, definitely.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
Urban, yeah.
Yeah. Well, no, she's amazing. She's really, really good. This week was big.
Steff
Can you break that down to me? Because I don't know.
Iamddb.
Do you know about this?
So,
I know there's been beef going on, but I ain't really deeped it. You get me?
He's lying.
I swear down, I ain't deeped it.
He's been checking it out. He's been political.
I swear I ain't deeped it. I heard about it. Obviously, Steff, I like her, you get me? The Iamddb is wavy as well. I feel her music, so it's mad, you get me? They're both sick, innit? Yeah. So the fact that they're beefing is mad.
The beautiful is
they're
mad,
actually like the top females for me anyway in the UK right now.
Okay.
That's
Lady Lachelle.
Lady Lachelle is a general of the thing. Yeah. She's a general. She's the general of the thing, but who's hot right now is those two, innit? Like they've come fresh, innit?
And the thing is, yeah, like they were going ham. So all I saw, I think Iamddb left a cheeky comment on Instagram or whatever. So Steff must have. She posted a screenshot.
Comment? Do you know?
I can't remember what it
was.
On
what? On Steff London's thing?
It was under something. I mean, production put it up and showed the people what it was. And then Steff retweeted it and basically said, I hope she keeps the same energy in person. So
I saw that, yeah.
Yeah, so obviously Iamddb came back to her.
That's what boys do in school when girls argue.
Yeah, I love it. I can't lie to you. I think Steff London will break Iamddb in two.
What, in a fight?
Of course.
But they're not going to get physical.
Of course,
they're
she's
both
battering
making
her.
Good money.
She's battering her. There's no way. She's going to win. But then...
Don't do that, please.
But then what's it? What did Steff say? Then, you know, they start going back and forth. You're not popping. You're not this. You're not that.
I heard
then
millions.
Steff was like... The Iamddb was kind of like, I'm quoting how much money Steff's making. And then Steff was like, well, I made 100 back with my Boohoo deal. And then Iamddb was like, oh yeah, that's nothing. And then Steff was like, my label got signed. My label got signed for 1.2 million.
Why don't they just think
and then, but then Iamddb basically implied that she got over £2 million for her deal.
Independent.
Do you know what I mean? And she's still independent. Like, for me, that's mad. That's a madness, to be honest. I agree with you, they should be linking up because they're making crazy money. But I don't know, I'm here for it. Me personally, I like beef. I like rivalries.
But has anything like that happened in the UK, like in terms of females?
What, beef-wise?
Yeah.
What if this is publicity, like, and they
business
come out with
now,
some me versus you type?
That's it, social media marketing and that. Them man will come with strategies for you.
I think
you never know, innit? But I don't know, innit? But at the same time, I feel like if they come together, it's better. Like it's better for the whole of the UK. Like, rather than beefing, you that have now made a statement that yo, females are here. You know, link up, kill it.
Yeah.
Me.
Silva said
the strength for numbers. The strength for numbers.
That's what I knew. That's what I like.
The strength. And was there anything else aside from the? Oh yeah, Jama was on.
Oh yeah.
I've been hearing about this thing, man.
Yeah.
We should define what it is because I think that a lot of people, especially because we've got Maya with us today, we might have new listeners. Yeah, and they might not even have the foggiest. In fact, some of our listeners, our regular listeners, might not have the foggiest what colorism is. And like the only way that I can describe colorism is basically it's a form of prejudice, which is usually people with darker skin complexions are usually affected by it, and it isn't just a black thing. It is something that you see in the Asian community. It's something that you see in like the East Asian community, South Asian community, like even like in Arab lands as well. Like people experience colorism, and it's basically just this intolerance for people with darker skin tones, and so that's what it is. So I just think we should define that before we die.
So I only saw.
So what's she actually done? What's she actually done? Like what's she do?
In the first
I heard about it, I see it everywhere, innit? But what's she like deep in it?
Man's hosting,
You explain, because
I don't know, innit?
there were old tweets from when she was like 17 that came out where she it had like there was loads of tweets that came out, and it just were insensitive comments and offensive comments towards darker skinned women, things that can obviously they just upset different kind of people as well. So so she went onto the Receipts podcast, which I think is very smart, strategic. Like it's very strategic, I think, because it kind of says, because the people that were most offended, I think, were people from ends, people from our culture, and I think by going to them rather than doing something on BBC 3 or Channel 4 is like, I really want to talk to you guys. They were very, from the clips I saw, they were very nobody was grilling her. They were letting her talk, and she just said, you know what, she was panicked. She was about to film. She didn't want people to think she didn't care, so she quickly wrote an apology. But she can't just send out apologies. Her PR had to see. Everybody had to see. And I think that's what we all thought. When we saw the first apology, we all did think this doesn't sound like Miss Jama, innit? So so she just said that. Those were the only clips I saw. But do you guys think it's blown over? I think it's blown over. I don't think anyone's.
They're drawing for this tweets, old school tweets thing, man. Yo.
Have you deleted all your tweets?
I'm not going to delete nothing. At the end of the day, what has been said, you get me?
That's the energy.
That's the realest thing, though.
That's the energy.
You get me? What you saying, sorry, like, to, you get me? You said it, innit? Like, you get me?
But they might
But
be
you know what it is, though? It's just that people might not deep. Like, for her, she's probably just tweeting, innit? Like, when you're just tweeting, tweeting.
She said she only had like 100
conversation,
followers.
Like, don't take it as like, man's actually trying to, that's what I see, how she's coming from. She's actually trying to, like, boy, the thing, just probably just a tweet, you know, people just tweet. So I don't know, but, Charlie, it's mad.
Do you go in and out of, like, African? Yeah. I said African, what's wrong with me? Guys, I actually am Nigerian, like, I speak Yoruba at home, like, I don't speak Yoruba. What's wrong with me? Oh, they got me, man. The people got me. It's all right.
Now, the hot topic, what you're really here for. Okay, so tomorrow, but you guys, by the time you lot see this, it would have happened, let's say, day before yesterday or whatever.
I got my outfit.
The first ever. The first ever.
I'm on your side.
The first ever Afrobeats concert, festival in the UK. Well, that's what they're calling
first
it.
Ever.
It's actually not the first ever.
Brother.
It's actually not the first ever. There was the One Africa Fest, but people they're calling it the first ever. What was the first ever? What are you talking about? Ghana party in the park?
Not even, bruv.
What was the first ever? This is the first one I know.
Okay, maybe you know,
but
cool. I heard that anyway.
So some artists, specifically Flavour, initially took it upon himself to make some comments. Firstly, production obviously showed them the lineup and whatnot, and now showed them the video. Flavour wasn't happy about the lineup. He felt like there should have been some UK Afrobeats artists on the lineup representing that scene.
There's an event in London going on this weekend called Afrorepublik at the O2 Arena. It's making history. I'm happy. It's good for the movement. It's happening in London, you know. And there's not one UK Afrobeat artist on the lineup.
That has been represented.
That has been representing.
From day dot.
Or even representing us. Not one. Not one, you know.
Forget Kwanzaa Flavour.
And I'm not even talking on our behalf as in for Kwams and for Flavour. Me, I'm good. But I'm talking about the rest of my niggas that are, even the ones that I don't even talk to cry, the people that are in my genre.
That have been
putting mad work. Mad work. Where's the respect?
And also, Tim Westwood is booked as the headline DJ, and Neptizzle wasn't happy about that. Neptizzle said that there should be some, you know, UK Afrobeats DJs doing sets in between, especially because if you see the set times, there's a lot of gaps in between. So they should have filled that with UK Afrobeats artists. So, Miss Silva, you're the guest, and I know you agreed with Flavour, but can we just get a little bit deeper? Why do you think that UK Afrobeats artists should have been on the lineup?
I believe they should be on the lineup simply because without that impact of what UK Afrobeat artists have done, these kind of things, like they won't be able to do it, innit? Like, and it's not just the music. Like during that whole period of the music, there's been events, there's been things artists have done, released projects, so on and so forth, to create that opening to that ear, or that for them to open up towards the sound like that. You know what I'm saying? So for that fact alone, it needs to be recognized. You know what I mean? At the same time, it's like, okay, cool, yeah, Afrorepublik, Wizkid, boom, boom, boom. The same thing. When Wizkid done his first ever show in the Apollo, HMV, time ago, 2000, probably 11, boom, boom, that time's there. You get me? We there inside where we come, the people who they do the same concert now, we had conversation with these people, you know what I mean? And they know where the thing's coming from, they know how the thing is. So for me, they because they know as well, and they're not showing that homage alone, it's like, rah, we've had certain conversations, you said so-and-so, we said, okay, cool, but you're not doing what you're meant to do with the artists, promoters to artists.
But this
you know what I mean?
But this is the thing, this is how I feel personally. So when I first saw the video, the first thing I felt was entitlement. I felt like it was almost entitled because, like, so I see it as this. We've got promoters putting on this concert. So you've got Smade, I saw Disturbing London, I saw Starboy, okay? So Smade, Disturbing London, Starboy. So these guys, they're top management, they're top promoters in the game, do you know what I'm saying? If they were going to put on a concert, their job is to make money. 100%. And if they haven't put on certain artists on the lineup, then that's just basically saying that, look, certain artists are not the ones that are bringing in the crowd right now or making the money.
I hear that in a certain way, but at the same time, it's like, provide those same opportunities you're providing for those artists, for us on those platforms as well. And then see really and truly where it is in it, you know what I'm saying? Because like I said, without that, how are you going to know that that market was available? Without doing what man done, you're not going to be able to know that market is available to bring whatever forward to do what you're doing, you know what I'm saying?
Well, the thing is, okay, before, let's say 2010, 2011, because if you remember, obviously, even when I said to you that, we recognise each other because when I was in uni, in 2010, like, I was trying to book all
this
you.
This is what I'm trying to say, like, but those little aspects there, uni, whatnot, you're doing your thing, boom. Like, in that era when we came, there was no Afro, nothing, like, you get me? And the music scene as well, the UK scene was not rap as it was now. There was nothing going good for the scene.
That's the thing,
you know what I mean? And we came in.
But when the scene grew, a lot of you guys didn't rise with it, if that makes sense. Like, because I was in preparation for this, I was checking.
But those,
for example,
forget those. If you say those didn't rise, it's about those that did rise and those that are staying consistent.
Well, okay,
that's what I believe.
Okay, let's say
if those that didn't stay around, that are here today, they're not around today, then that's their concern, innit? You know what I mean? For those that are here now and still consistent, still doing work, still producing stuff, you know what I mean?
But they're not. They might be producing it, but they're not getting the same response that they were getting back then.
And it comes down to another factor is gatekeepers within the industry. You understand? You get me? There's people who can make your thing go where it needs to go.
So
it's channels and, you know what I mean, communications and links and whatnot.
Do you think that's happening? Do you think
there's a lot? Yes, I do.
Especially to Afrobeat artists, or do you
think for the UK Afrobeat lot, yeah, because
why? What do you guys do?
Like, I don't even want to, like, there should be a playlist for UK Afrobeats. They have a playlist for Afro Bashment, but you can't have Afro Bashment without UK Afrobeats.
I've seen
understand?
The Afro but then, okay,
you know what I mean?
So why don't you ever,
but then how are some
people?
Sorry, but how are some people coming up today, popping up, making a song, and ending up on them playlists straight away? Obviously, they're putting out bangers, and that's not to say that you guys ain't doing good music. That's not what I'm saying at all. But what I'm saying is, like, you can't basically, because of a scene that was built in 2010, 2011 times, and you guys were at your peak and at your rise. Because I would say, and correct me if I'm wrong, Boom Boom Tower was probably your biggest hit in terms of, do you know what I mean? And that was during the whole Azonto period. But a lot of the artists that were popping then, I would say the ones that are still good, still big now, are the ones that probably, they moved with the times. Because Wizkid Don't Doll came out before Boom Boom Ta, for example. Same with Tease Me, that came out before Boom Boom Ta as well.
I'm not disputing Wizkid and them man there. Their thing is separate from our thing, you understand?
Notes, what about Notes?
It's the same thing, but it's separate. Like I said, without us, man, them man, we created that platform for them, bro. You understand that? That's what we're trying to tell you. You know what I'm saying? So for the fact that we've created that platform and we're still putting that stuff, recognise what we are doing, respect what we are doing, support what we are doing.
Do you think if there was no Mista Silva, no Qualms of Flavour,
there's none of the rest, fam?
Do you think there would have never been Notes?
There's none of the rest, cuz. There's none of the rest, cuz.
I can't agree with that.
I believe that 110%. Bro, because you know what? You in that era, when we were in that era, there was like, there's nobody, cuz. Who was there, fam? For good, these men just came now, fam. 2 years ago, bro. We've been doing this thing from 2011. So if you're saying just 2-3 years ago, that's what, 2015 or something. Probably even 16, cry. You get me? You know what I mean? These men, they've grown up on our thing. They were watching our thing, listening to our thing to get that influence, to get to say that there's a lane for people of African descent or African whatnot to come in the UK and do this. Carve that lane, to open that lane, you understand?
So what I think is that when I first saw Qualms come out, it was Qualms, when I first saw him come out.
Was it Flavour? It was Flavour.
No, they come together, they're duo.
Okay, when I saw that video, I did think, probably because you haven't brought anything out that's caught the attention of everyone mass, because now Afrobeats has moved from just something that's in the community to like something that the whole UK kind of gets into. I feel like I was on Puddi's side for a second until I deeped. There are tons of Afrobeat artists that are still doing it today, like from Sonar to Burn Up. And my question is, if you're gonna have like, I absolutely adore Yxng Bane, but if you're gonna have someone like that who really their sound is drums in it and the sing-song voice, which I think Afrobeats really pushed. If you're gonna have that, how are you not gonna have people that champion that proper do that shit on a day-to-day back-to-back?
You know what I mean?
Because that's their job is to make money, and those are the guys that are popping at the highest level.
Do you know what?
Okay, but yes, I'm trying to say they got the highest stream because when your song is getting put in every playlist, whether it's Afro Bashment or not, on the platform, of course you're going to get the numbers, bro. You understand, bro? Like so if we give us that opportunity, put us on every playlist, let's see what happens, innit? You get me? Put our music on those same platform, that same level you're giving to those artists, and then let's see what really goes down. You know what I'm saying? That's what I see in it. But we haven't been given that opportunity to express that. But we have laid the foundation for them to get that opportunity.
Correct me if I'm wrong. On Spotify, you could just make an UK Afrobeats playlist and push it.
This is different. When Spotify makes a playlist and you make a playlist, it's two different things, bro.
But
when they put a tune every week, they're updating a playlist every week, and your thing stays on the thing, or you're the top 5 tunes, and you go on your app. What do? You see these playlists, you're automatically going into it. Whether you're just gonna press it in it, you're gonna listen to it, bro. And because it's there, it's easier format for you to access the music. You understand, fam? So that way, you just to hear the music, you go say, oh, this is banger, this one is banger. But really, truly, is a banger. Are you deep in it for his music? Are you deep in it for the spirit that they behind the music, or the message that they behind the music? You understand, bro? This is what I'm saying, bro. You get me? Just because it's numbers, are we now, these days, we're not taking in music for what music is, or what the spirit is or behind the music, or what the message is behind the music. We look at the numbers and say, yo, that's a banger. Without even listening to the tune, without even deep in what's really going on, fam. You understand, fam? So that's my angle with it, fam. You get me? If you give in the right platform, us guys, give us that right, and then see what happens. Like I said, these things, conversations happen with these people that are doing things. We say, yo, we're gonna do this, we're gonna support you to do this, to do that. Charlie, where's the formation? But yeah, you know, but obviously it's all business at the same time. And I understand your aspect of coming on the number side of thing, but music's not just money.
I wanted to ask you, because someone messaged me privately, and what he said is that he feels that you've been done dirty in the music scene, and that the reason why someone like you isn't on that platform is because he feels that you've been done dirty. So, in your opinion, have you been done?
Like that? It's true, it's a fact. Like, energy says it. If someone's saying that, that means the energy itself is speaking for itself. And I ain't come out and said that to nobody.
Yeah.
Obviously, the energy is speaking for itself. And
if I'm gonna,
you can't just. Anyway,
no, if I'm gonna be totally honest, I would say, with Afrobeats, I would say Afrobeats, from what I remember, it's always gone through waves. Do you know what I mean? Like, I was listening to African music before uni and before these things, I was listening to African music, do you know what I'm saying? And when Afrobeats, one of the main waves for Afrobeats was the Zonto period, let's be real. That's when Ghanaian Afrobeats was popping the most. Well, for us, it was popping the most in, let's say, London, yeah, during the Zonto era, the Zonto period. And I just personally think that a lot of people in that period didn't move with the times and follow the shift when it moved on.
I hear that, but
that's literally what I think it is.
Sense, but then to deep the projects around that era, go listen to those projects. And then listen to the projects and listen to that sound now, innit? Because it's not just a Zonto man was dropping, fam. Yeah. It may have been one of man's biggest tracks.
That was the biggest.
It doesn't matter, but it's about projects of work, bro. I don't just look at Boom Boom Ties as a great track just because it's got the sickest numbers or whatnot. There's other tunes that could have 2,000, whatever, you get me? But what it does for somebody, just that one person who listens to it, that 2,000, it could be greater than the 400,000, innit? Every song counts for me, you get me? And every sound counts of what was put out at that time. It's not just that. We didn't just drop Bomb Seman before Boom Boom Ta.
Yeah, I remember that song, of course, yeah.
Number one, whatnot. Like, there's so many songs, bro. We could go on.
Even we can say that you did My Sweet Cocoa Afrobeat.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
But Afrobeat has ascended as well.
Okay, 100%. It's ascended, but at the same time,
you need to
look at how man's come into the scene, fam. It's through what? Having the opportunity of working with man that's allowed him to establish to be an artist. He was a DJ. Check the Boom Boom video. That man's day in the video, bro. Yeah. Every person here they see them day in the video. They come through something. They've been influenced through something. So therefore, for that fact, you need to pay your homage. You need to pay your respect for that, fam. Because without that energy, without us creating that energy, it's not possible for you to see that whatever vision you've been able to step forward and do, fam. That's what I'm saying, innit? You get me?
So how would you want them to pay homage to you?
But no,
I think it's never like just respect the thing, like promote the thing, play the tunes. Like, you know, we've got tunes coming out. Obviously, it's competition or whatever. You might see a competition. You might not play those tunes, blood. You get me, fam? You they on radio, play the tunes, cuz. How can you say I didn't move with the times?
I don't think you moved with the times.
How can you tell me that?
Because the music that...
What music? What music have I dropped? Do you know?
I don't listen. I'll be honest. I don't listen to your music now. How I used to listen to it before.
How comes?
Because it doesn't. Because it doesn't touch me the same way when before.
What tunes have you heard though? To let me know that I know that okay, these are the songs that okay.
Okay, whatever your most recent song is, I went and listened to it today. I can't remember the name, but whatever your most recent song is, I went and listened to it today. Whatever Qualms and Flavors' most recent song is, I think it's called Still Dancing. I went and listened to it today. All of these songs, I went and listened back to quite a few people in the UK Afrobeat song.
Have you listened to my latest project?
No, I didn't. Okay. I didn't listen to it.
Out of the darkest.
But the thing is,
for me, you can't judge an artist of one track, bro. You understand?
I agree to an extent. I agree to an extent, but one track has to draw me in. Do you know what I'm saying? 100. One track has to draw me in.
That's why I need to know what track, but you can't even tell me what track.
Because if I don't, with all due respect, if I didn't like a song, I'm not going to remember it. Do you know what I mean? I'll do it in a disrespectful way, but that's true. I'm not going to remember the name of the song. But obviously, you know, like I said, all of their songs, everyone I've listened to, like, if anything, it just doesn't move me the same way that the other music. And, you know, everyone will always say, because you're not the only person that said, I've heard people say, you know, they manufacture bangers. They make this song a banger. They make that song a banger. Nobody can make me like a song. If I like the song, I like the song.
Do you think you're still
Nobody's making
me. I heard that.
I'm an Afrobeats fan through and through. 100% Afrobeats fan. And someone like Sona, for example, Sona's sick. Do you know what I mean? He's sick, and he's UK Afrobeats. And Sona is on the Afrorepublik after party. Mologo is sick. Do you know what I mean? So it's not like do you know what I mean? Like I'm trying to hate on these UK Afrobeats. Like literally. The music that they're making, it's just not popping right now. It's just not popping to me right now.
That's for you.
But as a concert promoter, as a festival promoter, you're gonna book who's popping. That's just how it is.
I heard that.
Do you know what I mean? That's just how it is. You can only book who's popping, and that's
fair enough. Your opinion.
Do you know what I mean?
No, like biggies for that, innit? No, that's your opinion, innit?
And I will listen. And I promise you, I will listen to the project. I will listen to the project.
To our music. And who they feel our music, and who they believe in us. And it's your
Do you think an Afrorepublik lineup with just those UK Afrobeats artists would have sold out the same numbers?
110%.
Oh my God.
110%.
I don't think
20,000 tickets.
110%.
I don't think it would have
give us the
sold
same
out.
Promotion, the same platform, the same. You get me? Like push our shit out there to the people out there, and how you're pushing it out there for them, and then let's see in it. Then let's see in it. If the people are getting the reach of the sound, then that's where we go really see it, innit? You know,
would you put yourself on the Afrorepublik lineup?
Yeah, I would.
You would. Who else would you put up there?
I'd put myself, I'd put Sana, I'd put Quantum Flavor. Obviously UG's been added, I'll put Eazi on there, GB, Jai Hollins.
NSG?
And NSG. These people have been doing things, like, you get me?
Retweet or delete time?
Yeah.
Okay, so first track we've got under this, we've got Dappy. You're going to start off with Dappy? Dappy, oh my. What do you think?
Absolutely retweet.
Really?
Dappy is very talented, guys. I don't know what it is about him that he hasn't achieved more, like reached new levels. Like Dappy is very talented. He does what people are doing a little bit better than they do. I personally think so. I retweet it, absolutely. It's good to have him back a little bit as well, because I think he disappeared for a second for me. But that's my opinion, absolutely.
Let's go with Mista Silva. What are you saying? Dappy or mine?
It's a good song, and I would retweet it. But then again, it's like, look, them man weren't doing that thing.
And that's...
You get me?
That's why for me, it's a straight delete, okay?
Why?
Because Dappy's just copying other people's thing. Like, one thing that I always liked Dappy for was being
and
actually
then everyone
quite
else
unique.
is then, innit?
Huh?
Do we want to go back to Dappy from End Up?
No, but the difference is Dappy's, what, like 10 years deep, being very unique. And now it's like, it's almost sort of like desperation music. Because it sounds desperate to me. Because he's basically gone and made an almost AfroSwing song.
It's the sound of the time.
He sounds almost like he's trying to steal some Kojo funds, some notes. So everybody on this song is.
I won't say he's not
it's
inspired.
not even a bad song.
Yeah, it's not a bad song though.
Go listen to number 1, innit? Mista Silva, number 1, fool him.
Oh, this is it.
You know the DNA there from there. The DNA was there from there, fam.
Oh, this is it.
You see the evolution of the sound.
Oh my God, I'm getting educated.
No, I say you need to know, fam. You need to know, cause the way they come here, Joe. You don't know the thing. That's why they talk like how they talk.
Next on this,
it's deep, fam. Trust me.
Next on this, we've got Aitch. Aitch, and the song's called Straight Bars. You know what, Silva, let's go, because you're going into Isn't it Straight Bars?
Have I heard this?
Who's talking about the white guy?
Yeah.
Straight Rhymes.
Oh, Straight Rhymes, so Straight Rhymes, yeah.
Yeah, he's good still.
Yeah, you hear that?
He's still done his thing. Like, that's, for me, it felt like old school UK kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like, man dropping bars, it was all about, you get me, he was giving it that UK real feel. And that's what I liked.
Okay.
Absolute retweet for me. Yeah. He's a baby boy as well, isn't he?
16 or something, I say.
He's 16.
Yeah,
he's about
No, but his flow is really good. Like there was times when he switched up the flow, he stayed on it. I was really impressed. I enjoyed it.
For me, it's a retweet, but I'm not jumping out the window like everyone else in the sense that I feel like okay, cool. It was a good freestyle and the flow was good.
It was a freestyle.
Well, as in, it's a good what you done. It was
okay.
Yeah, the flow was good, but I need to hear him on an actual song. And then last but not least, we got Mr. Eazi featuring Giggs, London Town.
Yeah.
You know what, yeah, I'll do this first because obviously it's Mr. Eazi, so I want you to close out with that. But okay, so that song for me, first listen, I was like, nah, I'm not feeling it. Listen to it again through the speakers, and I'm like, you know what, it's going to shut down the party, you know what I mean? We're going to like it, it's Giggs, it's the landlord, you know what I mean? So we're giving it a retweet, but it's a weak retweet for me, but we're giving it a retweet, you know what I'm saying? Okay?
No, it's a retweet for me. I think they complemented each other with the sounds. It's not 100% new. I feel like I've heard something like it before, but no, it's a retweet for me. I enjoyed it. It's a hat trick is when...
Yeah, 3 in a row.
Hat trick. Retweet, yeah.
Last but not least.
Song,
you like it?
But like you said, we've heard it before, innit? But
hat trick.
It's a song, but it's Giggs. Like, you can't go wrong. Like, Giggs, you get me? Give him the hook, just murder the verses. So.
What do you think of Eazi on the song?
Yeah, Eazi done his thing, but it's the culture that we spread from, that he's singing in from.
I like this guy. Man started everything.
Isn't it, bro, like, see this world, like, you don't claim your shit, like, this is why man's in this conversation, because, you get me, when we're trying to, I don't know, man, it's deep, like, fuck that thing, I don't want to swear, but this music thing, just deep the music, just take the music, I just want to give you the music, everyone's trying to give you the music.